Ecuador's president is declaring a state of emergency amid a wave of violence, mostly gang-related. 13 men now face charges after storming a TV station there with guns during a live broadcast. Ecuador has been known as one of South America's most peaceful countries. This latest attack is among the most dramatic incidents we've seen so far. ABC's Matt Rivers has the latest.
Authorities in Ecuador investigating a brazen attack on a public television station by an apparent armed gang as, quote, acts of terrorism. The masked men seen here tying crew members on the floor, threatening the staff, waving explosives and guns. Scared staffers inside desperately pleading for their lives. The live broadcast rolling for almost 15 minutes before going dark. Police then surrounding the area, arresting more than a dozen gunmen. The show's deputy director later saying the attack was, quote, extremely violent. This incident, one of many acts of violence that occurred after Ecuador declared a state of emergency Monday, following the disappearance of the leader of the notorious Los Choneros gang from his cell in a Guayaquil prison.
And Matt Rivers joins me now from San Antonio, Texas, with more on this. Matt, Ecuadorian officials say these 13 men are under arrest and facing charges. So what are you hearing about who they are and why they did this?
Yeah, so they're members of a smaller group of criminals, a gang there in Ecuador. And what the government is saying is that there were some 22 different groups that they've identified as being part of the violence that we saw spread throughout Guayaquil, Ecuador yesterday. And all of this is in response to that state of emergency that was declared. It was the leader of that group, Los Choneros, that managed to disappear from prison. And as a result of that, the president makes that state of emergency declaration. That gives the military in Ecuador the right to do a couple of things, including go out on the streets, conduct checkpoints, but also, crucially, enter and control Ecuador's prisons. And the criminals that have been inside of those prisons for years, they've really been controlling organized crime in Ecuador, running those groups from inside the prisons. If the military goes in, the thought being that control would be lessened, organized crime would be less efficient, and that's why these groups are really reached out, branched out, lashed out yesterday in the way that they did, because they're upset over these new rights given to Ecuador's military.
So, Matt, what is it like in Ecuador right now with this state of emergency in place and this notorious gang leader on the loose?
I mean, there's no doubt things are tense right now. I was texting with a friend whose parents live in Guayaquil, and what she was telling me is that, look, it was a tough day for the people of Guayaquil yesterday. Businesses are closed, restaurants are closed, schools were shut down. It's a very tense time in Ecuador right now, as it would be in any country where the military is out on the streets. But I think what we saw overnight was that people generally respected the curfew that's been put in place. We haven't seen any more scenes of violence that we saw play out there yesterday. So right now I would call it a tense calm, but still, you know, anything could change.
All right, Matt Rivers, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.